Yo, how's it going, guys? RudyWadeTCG back at it again with another video. Today, we're going to be doing a meta discussion on the upcoming Greensboro Regional Championship. I got 4 guests with me. You guys can feel free to introduce yourself. We can go Anthony, Alec, Jesper, then Jake.
Well, I'm Anthony. I meme on kids with only fire decks. My best accomplishment is top 64 at Philly Regionals with Ho Kiawe. Gotta
Right.
do it to him.
Yeah.
Alright, what's up, guys? My name's Alec. I day 2 Dallas, top 32. Probably should have top 8'd, but I misplayed because I hate Delinquent. I'm glad that card's banned.
Thank God, me too.
I missed my win in Collinsville because I went Rockruff Pass, and yeah, that's me. So.
All right.
Go for it, Jake.
I'm Jake. I got top 4 at Madison with Greninja. It's about the best thing I've done. I day 2 Worlds with Greninja. It's the only deck I play. And I lost my winning at Collinsville also because I went Rockruff Pass.
Winning in gang. Let's go.
All right.
Hey. Okay, my name is Jesper. I play for Limitless TCG, and in 2016, I stole $25,000 of a little kid. Let's go.
Great way to start the video off. So, first question is, what are your opinions on the Toronto results? How do you feel that's going to affect the metagame of Expanded? So we saw the giant amount of Pikarom hype going in to Toronto. So how do you think that is going to be affected with these new results in play?
Having 48 people play Pikarom and only 1 making day 2 and going from 6'3" to 6'8", I don't think anyone's gonna play Pikarom.
I feel that too. We could just go same order the whole video. So Anthony, Alec, Jake, and Jesper. That would be fine. Yeah.
Okay. Were you done, Anthony, or did you have?
No, I'm done.
Okay. See, I think it's just the opposite, actually. I think where it was super hyped for Toronto and everybody played like fighting decks. Like if you count all the fighting decks, I don't remember the exact amount. I think there were like 130 plus fighting decks that were in Toronto, and I don't even remember how many made day 2. And everybody decided to sack the Elder Trev, which is why Trev did so well, because like Hitmonchan Wild cannot be Trev. There's no chance. Like, so now people are gonna go into the tournament saying, well, I want to play a deck that can beat Trev. Like, you don't want to take the Elder Trev. I think if you're gonna take an Elder anything, you should take an Elder Pikarom, which is why I think Pikarom will do really well.
All right. I don't know how much I agree with that because Zoroark hype is also high, which is another reason people would play fighting decks, but we'll see what everyone else has to say. So, Jake.
With Trev doing so well and Pikarom having a pretty good matchup against that, I don't see fighting being nearly as popular as it was in Toronto just because of Trev doing so well. So I don't think Pikarom can win the event necessarily. I think you'll see more than one day 2, but at least more than one will day 2. I don't know how well it'll actually do past that point.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure about how Pikasek is gonna do at the event. But like honestly, I just want to like take a look at like Noah's list, for example. He played Laser, which I really like because that's also like the counter for Pikasek in there, where he can foul play Choice Band Laser. So honestly, I think Sora Garbodor is still gonna be a good play for next weekend's most safe deck to play. Can beat Hitmonchan Wop if you just play it good. Yeah.
All right. So, speaking of Zoroark, what kinds of techs do you think people are going to add to Zoroark to make their list better? And do you think it is a good call going into this upcoming weekend?
Well, I only play fire deck, so I have no opinion on Zoroark. I hate Zoroark.
Okay.
I feel like people are gonna tech some things in Zoroark, maybe like Oricorio, Karen, something for Night March or other decks.
Yeah, I think Zoroark's really good still. From Dallas, it's definitely changed a little bit because Night March did well, but I mean, Night March was Night March only does well when nobody expects it, like Prim said, and everybody else says. Like everybody that plays Night March and knows how to play Night March well says that it does well when nobody expects it. So I think everybody's in the tech for it. I don't know if I would tech for it because like everybody's gonna do the work for me. So I'm just not. I don't know if I should probably just miss it. Like I don't know. Maybe I still tech for it. The techs I would play in Zorogarb, laser definitely. Yeah. I just think it's way better than the Iris. More I tested. I'm trying. I'm getting really cute now. I want to try a Shadow Triad too, just because then that way I can probably lower my blower count to 1, and then I can get around Focus Sash more still. So then that way, like Shadow Triad for the laser. You see what I'm saying?
Well, people are playing Dowsing Machine, so I feel like
I'm
that's
not.
better.
Hell no. Comp
Versus
Search.
Seeker on Shadow Triad still works.
Right, Comp Search. I'm 100% playing Comp Search in
Oh
Zorogarb.
God,
no matter
why?
what. I love consistency. I want to fucking set up my board. What do you
Consistency
mean?
equals Dowsing Machine expanded when you have Battle Compressor for X, and then you go like Battle Compressor for supporters too, and you're like, yeah.
I played
agree.
Comp Search
Yeah.
at Dallas. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it still. At least I have 2 more days. I have 2 more days to test. I'll figure it out.
All right.
We'll figure it
Yikes. I think Zorogarb is probably like one of the safer decks I feel like going into the weekend. And I don't know if I were to play it, I wouldn't play like an Oricorio or anything like that just because I just think that too many other people are gonna play it, and then people that would play Night March normally are gonna think that people are gonna tech that, so they just won't bring the deck. So I think it's just like a wasted deck slot. So you're basically playing with like 59 cards the whole weekend, which doesn't seem fun. But if you're like a newer player and you want to play Zorogarb, I'd say play the Oricorio just to be safe, just because that way you have a tech for that matchup in case you just don't feel like comfortable enough with the deck enough to play around it.
All right.
Yeah, I feel the same, honestly. I think, like, I love Zoroark, of course I do, but, like, looking into Zoroark, Alec, you don't play Computer Search and Expanded right now.
out.
You can't do that, because, like, okay, let's look at, like, Computer Search for an example. You have so many different things you want back. You can douse a machine for Wreck Card. You can douse a machine for a Stretcher, Supra, Special Charge. You should douse a machine for your Field Blower and Laser really often while playing Zoroark, especially against Pikasek. You need to douse a machine for Laser probably when you have to Stretcher for Foul Play Zoroark plus Choice Band, pull off the combo twice to do 6 prizes. I still say just play Zoroark, be safe, and just test 150 games of the deck and you're good.
All right. So moving on to the next deck that saw a lot of popularity in day 2 of Toronto Regionals, we have Trevenant. So how do you think this deck is positioned going into Greensboro, and what do you think are its good and bad matchups?
I think it has a hard matchup. According to my boy Nick Race, who started off 5-0 with the deck and then choked. he said the
I've been
only
there.
really bad matchup is Pikarom for Trev, which I've never played Trev, so I wouldn't know. But I think Trev is still well positioned in going into this weekend. So if you're gonna if you're gonna make day 2 and do well, you have to have an answer for Trev, whatever that is.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what he said. I mean, you're not going to go into this tournament saying, all right, I'm going to take that 1 L. Like, your 1 L, every deck has to take an L somewhere, and nobody's going to say that their L is going to be taking the Trev this weekend. So, no, I don't know. I don't think Trev's good. I don't know if it's that good, though.
Yeah, I think Trev stays one of the better decks this next weekend, but I don't think it takes up 4 of the top 8 spots again like it did this past weekend in Toronto, just because people, they don't want to go into the deck now losing to it once they saw how well it did this last weekend. So I feel like it's still going to take up like a decent amount of like day 2 just because it is that good of a deck. You can have those 4 enhanced hammers against Zoroark and Night March and everything. But I don't think it's going to be nearly as dominant like in the top 8. Like, it's not going to take up 4 spots. It might take up 2 or 1, but it's definitely not going to take up 4. At least it shouldn't.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the assessment of like there's not going to be 4 Trevenants again. I do think that Trevenant, of course, only has the bad matchup against Pikasek because it's just going to run it over. Well, you look at it, you can also just like be more creative in attacking with Zoroark again. You can still play a second Clef Key to be more prevalent in the item lock, in the ability locking. That's what I meant, because the Trevenant's ability lock. Item lock. There you go. But I still feel that Trevenant is okay to take a 50-50 against it, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I still want to play Sark Garb, because Sark one-shots it, and you're drawing for your whole deck, while Trevenant only plays Juniper Sycamore and has to hit their 4 enhanced hammers at some point.
Yeah, I definitely agree that Zoroark can be even to slightly unfavorable for the deck, which is why a lot of people might opt to go with Zoroark. But yeah, so for the next deck on the list would be Night March. Obviously, it did win the event and it is now on everyone's radar. People are talking about including text for it going into the weekend. What do you guys have to say about including a Night March tech in your deck and the Night March tech deck choice as a whole?
I feel like even if you have a tech for it, if the Night March player is smart about it, they can still win. So if you just think the one tech's going to be the answer for it, it's not. Because I've definitely played against Night March. I'm like, I got Karen. Just Karen them, and then they just still go off. So I think you still need to have a different plan for it, whatever that is.
Yeah. I don't, like I said in the beginning, I don't know if I would personally tech for it. I mean, if I hit one round 1, I mean, I guess I take the L if I don't play the counter. But if I do play the counter, I think you got to play around it smart. If I were to choose between Karen or Ikorio, I'm really on the fence about it. They can play around Ikorio more, so I'm thinking or Karen, just because that's what I did at Dallas, and I just loved Karen more in my testing. But the more I think about it, maybe Ikorio is like better. I don't know. I don't think Night March as a whole is going to be good. Like, I think if you're thinking of bringing Night March, just save your money and play Zoroark or something, or buy whales or something. Just don't play Night March.
Yeah, I don't see Night March doing nearly as well as it did this last weekend. Just because everyone knows about it now, it's just the same thing. You can't play Night March. Well, you can. You just won't do well. You can't play Night March at the event after it just won because people know about it. But teching for it, I'd probably play Oricorio over Karen unless I'm playing like a Toad in my deck where I can go Quaking Punch Karen and have that even if they save their compressors and everything, just because it gives you that item lock against them and you put their Pokemon back. But if I was going, I wouldn't be playing either tech. I would just, because the people I expect to play Night March at this tournament would be like the people that are just net decking and just randomly grabbing the deck, and I think I can beat them anyway just based on skill alone without having that tech.
Yeah, and another thing about the Toad and Karen combo, if you also can get Garbotoxin up, they literally can't win. So ability lock, item lock, and no Night Marches in this card. So that is also something to think about.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if they are able to slap a flush and you're not hitting your field blow within turns, they could still just go for Sky Return looping, which means that you have to go to Zoroark or whatever other attacker you're playing, and then they are allowed to play compressors again. Of course, you could just Versus Secret for Karen again and starts all over, but yeah. But yeah, think about it. You should not, if you're going to play one of the techs, I still play the more offensive tech, which is Oricorio, because if you can chain together Oricorio and Garbotoxin, Night March just loses again. And it becomes too easy. I'm just not going to think that any of the top players are going to play Night March at all, and I, as Jake said, just don't tech for it, honestly. Like, I know that us saying that we shouldn't tech for it doesn't mean that people are not going to tech for it, which means that it's just play Sword Guard, boys.
All right, yeah. So another popular deck that got one top 8 placement at Toronto was Archie's, and people have been hyping it up a lot because of its bench wipe capabilities, and some people say that it has a favorable Zoroark matchup. So yeah, what do you guys have to say about that?
I do think, after thinking about it, Pigrom might do better this weekend, but I'm still on the fence about it. It depends how much fighting there is.
Oh, all right. So he is currently cutting out.
Yeah.
We can go straight to Alec and come back to him later once he cuts back in.
It was just Archie's overall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Archie's.
Yeah, I really like Archie's. I think it's my number 1 going into this event as of right now. But it's such a high roll deck that I don't know if I want to high roll that hard. Like, you just gotta make a consistent Archie's list as much as you can. Like, while being able to, like, you need to get turn 1 Archie's for this event because Zoroark can beat Archie's if you don't hit the turn 1 Archie's. I mean, any deck can, but Zoroark more than ever because like Zoroark turn 2 just punishes every deck if you don't hit what you need turn 1. So
All right, Anthony, you cut out during your response. So
Great. I don't know. I think Archie's a hit or miss. Depends how you do.
hit or miss. So yeah.
I would never touch the deck. I've tried it a handful of times and I just can't do it.
Also the opposite of fire.
Fire. I just need just raw. Just go for it. So me personally, if I am gonna play fire this weekend, I'd have to probably tech for Archie's because I think it's gonna do decently well, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, Jake.
So Archie's is like would be my number 3 choice if I were to going into this weekend. And if you want to play the deck, I think it's really good. I think it's a really good deck. And if you want to play it, I don't want to say all you really need to do is like play test hands, but you need to practice that turn 1 Archies with like almost every possible hand you can get. Just keep drawing your turn 1 7 cards, laying out your prizes, and practicing hitting that turn 1 Archies. Because if you don't have that sequencing down and you go into the tournament without knowing what you're doing, you will not do well.
Agree. But honestly, I'm not sure. Of course, I'm not the biggest expert on expanded here, but I still feel that, for example, Noah included it's called Wobbuffet. If Sword Garbs goes first and gets Wobbuffet into the active, I don't think there's a big percentage chance that Archie's gets their Blastoise to play turn 1. If they don't do that, you can then start Garbatox and locking them, equaling they lose the game. So honestly, the match is going to be a coin flip. And then, if Archie's wins the coin flip, they have to get Archie's in play turn 1, or they lose.
Yeah, another thing to add about the Wobbuffet is that if you get Wobbuffet active and they do get the Blastoise down, it is impossible for them to turn 1 attack because of obviously ability lock, and they can't
double
play
supporting.
Yep. So,
or they could just do double custom catcher, but we never included that.
Yes. Okay. So, another deck that recently has been getting a lot of hype due to Pikarom and Zoro Garb is Hitmonwob. What do you think about that deck? Do you think it's capable of winning an event, or do you think it's just a fringe play?
I don't really think it's capable just to win a whole event, but I do think it could do decently well depending on what matchups you hit.
Yeah.
It's definitely got certain decks it's aimed at to take out, and if you hit none of that all day, you're gonna go 0-9 pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the deck. I don't love the deck. I don't like losing to Trev. Simple as that.
Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't play the deck going into this weekend with how well Trev did, just because you can't beat Trevenant. The reason I think it did so well is because Pikarom had so much hype, and you just you have a really good Pikarom matchup because you're one prize deck, you're fighting, you're hitting for weakness, you just have a lot of good things going for you. And starting Wob against Blastoise is obviously very good. Having Wob against Zoroark and fighting against Zoroark is obviously very good. But I don't think the deck will. I don't think it can win the event. I don't think it can beat Trevenant at all. And I probably wouldn't put it in my top 5 to play it. I just think it's too risky.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't play the deck either, but if we draw some perspective, we could also look at how Blacephalon did at OCIC and then ended up winning Collinsville. There were 2 Blacephalons in day 2 of OCIC, winning Collinsville. That's like, was it the only Blacephalon day 2?
I think there were 3.
There was
Yeah,
as long as they're 2 or 3. But I honestly still think that the deck will have representation in day 2. I'm more skeptical about the fact that if it's ever going to get top 8 at expanded regionals, which for me makes it not a deck that's worthwhile playing if you're not going to be able to grab the top spots, because then you're also looking for the CP ratio payout by playing the deck. You'd rather just play something more safe or more Archie alike if you want to actually do good at a tournament.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Another archetype that is receiving a little more credit than I think it should be receiving is Control, because the amount of Pikarom that did well at Toronto was basically 0. So going into this event, do you think Control is positioned well at all, or do you think it's just false hype? I think he's cutting out again. So yeah.
Alec, go first.
All right. I think Zorotoad's really, really good going into this event. Actually, I think it can. I don't know. I know it's Zoroguard matchup, like from the Zoroguard perspective. I don't know its matchup from the Toad perspective. Red card. I mean, I played against 2 with Dallas, I believe. One, I red carded him into 3 counter catcher, and we just played a long game 1, so that was fun, and then I just won. The other one, I dunked him twice. So I mean, I don't know the matchup really per se. But it's just a long game, and I don't know. Maybe like people are probably gonna cut a Rangru. If I'm honest, like I don't know why you ever would. A Rangru is literally the best card in your deck. But if you do cut a Rangru, like Toad should just feast on the decks that don't play Rangru. I mean, yeah, it's good. I don't know if it. I think DDG will bring it. Like I think that's a deck that they're gonna play. But
yeah, Bruno, you actually cut out there once again.
Great. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't bring a control deck, but the Zoro control, I don't think it's gonna do all of that well. Maybe it depends what it plays against. If you play against decks that use items all day, or if you get Pikarom and they just blitz you, then it's kind of like.
Yeah, definitely. Jake.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Control's seeing a lot of hype just to scare away those. I feel like there's always this one deck going in every regional that gets hyped for no reason just to scare away certain decks from being played just because you want to play like a deck that gets countered by the deck that you don't want to see. So you like hype Control because it beats that one deck. I don't think it's that good. I think Zorotoad is probably the best like control deck you could play, but it's also not the easiest deck to play. And I think if you're just someone new picking out that deck, you're not going to do very well. So I don't think it's worth bringing a control deck.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna count the reasons why we should not play control. I'm counting on band list 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 5 potentially. So, reasons why you're not playing control: Delinquent, Getsus, Hexmaniac, Lucamine, and Pulse of Time Ban. I am not sure how control would function without, for example, Lucamine disruption cards like Delinquent, because you're not able to establish a lock on your opponent. On the other hand, though, if you're playing control, you can still just lose to, for example, Sarkarp getting turn 2 Garbodor and then just swing at you, which it would not do if you had cards like Delinquent, because you could be able to slow them down. Red card Delinquent, you're not able to do that anymore. So definitely no to control.
All right. So we covered all of the top decks. So another question is, what are your top 3 decks going into this event? You don't have to put them in order or anything like that. Just put your top 3 out there.
So my top 3 fire decks I'm gonna bring.
Oh my god.
Only play fire decks. Let's see. I'm between
Bulk and Bulk.
Blacephalon Volcoo.
There you go.
All right.
All in one deck.
Oh. All together.
Maybe. You never know. I got the spicy fire decks.
Never.
Wait. Mega Charizard. Go. I'm sorry.
No, but honestly, whatever fire deck I do bring, I'm gonna try to tech the best I can and to see how it goes. I usually do fairly well, and I usually just wind up going like 5-2-2 or losing the win into something I don't really want to hit. I usually miss the one thing I don't want to hit all day, and then just hit at the very end. We'll see how it goes. But right now I'm between probably Blacephalon and Volk, even though Volk had absolutely no showing at Toronto.
For good reason.
And
there you go.
He cuts again.
All right. So, Alec, what are your top 3 real decks going into the event?
Look at the John versus Priest.
Okay, yeah, his face is pretty hilarious right now.
Oh.
All right, you're back.
Alright.
Went back.
But in no specific order, Archie's, Zorogarb, and I don't know. Archie, Zorogarb, and like probably I don't know, like a different Zoroark variant maybe. Like I don't know. Like Archie's and Zorogarb are my top 2. I'll come back to me on the third deck. I gotta think.
All right. Yep. Jake.
So my top 3 in order would be Greninja is the first option. I love the deck. It's all I play. It's probably wouldn't do very well, but to my deck. So, number 2 would be the Aromatisse Vileplume deck.
Oh yeah, that deck is gas.
I've been testing that a lot, and it's actually just crazy. I love it. I like rogue decks, so that's probably my number 2. And my number 3 would probably be Trevenant with Pyroar.
All right. So finally, we're gonna get to a real answer here.
Oh yeah, we need real deck.
Whoa.
God, I don't even see free variants of Sark in that day too. God. Well, you could play Sark Guard with one of the with the new Garbotox and Garbodor. You can play Sark Guard with the old Garbotox and Garbodor, and you can play Sark Guard with
the Secret Razor Garbodor.
Yes. No, but be real. First option is of course going to be Sark Garb. On the second hand, I'm just looking at like the standings of day 2. There's not any decks that like kind of turns me on right now. I'm like super torn. I don't know why. For example, Stefan played Hitmonchan. He's smarter than that. But honestly, I've had okay success playing Arceus Blastoise once it first came out. I played it at expanded cities back then. Worked really well. I like the deck a lot. But yeah, probably just gonna go Sark Garb into Trevenant with 1/1 Pyroar and then Arceus Blastoise.
All right.
Oh, real quick, my third deck is definitely Pikarom. The more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I just remember enough.
Okay. So, a question that you guys, 2 of you already answered. What is the best rogue deck going in?
Fire.
Okay. Yeah. Next one.
Somebody else go. I don't know. I gotta
Ninja or Aromatisse Vileplume. One of those two. They're busted.
Okay.
I had a good thought about something last week because I was going to test for Daytona. Oh yeah, I'm going. But oh god, is it now that I bust out
busted
Vespiquen Mega 2.0? Like I honestly, I don't know. Like you could play. No, Counterbox already out. So yeah, I have no idea. Counterbox is a good road for last weekend though. I gotta give Simon credit for that.
And Alec?
Real quick to touch on what he said. Simone said that he literally sacked all of his opponents and that his deck sucked. So I don't think I will ever play Counterbox.
I never said I would play the deck either. It looks like a dirty pile of bad shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that list was terrible. No offense, but that list was terrible. But
like honestly, in interviews he was just like, "I'm so surprised to be here. I shouldn't be here." That was literally how he was.
But if best rogue deck, oh god, I'm probably like Zapdos. I think the Zapdos deck was actually really good. Pablo you just need to find a way to beat Trev, which is, I mean, you got to test around with it more. But Pablo faced like 4 Trev, and that's why he didn't make day 2. But I think if he didn't hit 4 Trev, I think he would have day 2'd, and it would have gone a lot further. So I think Zapdos is good.
All right.
I actually got one, I think. Actually, I heard people talking about Return of Darkrai, which I like.
Gang.
Gang, Darkrai, boys.
Dark Pulse, let's get it.
Yeah, but honestly, there's a lot of support cards for it, but if all the fighting decks would just go away, maybe Darkrai has a little chance of a showing.
All right. So, a question Seagrove asks a lot is, what is the best deck that you would not bring to the event? So hopefully we'll get some real answers on this one. Let's go around.
What's the best deck in the format? That's what his answer is gonna be. Best deck in the format.
What's Sarkarb?
Definitely, I think Zorogarb is positioned well in the event, but something I would never bring because I just not.
All right.
Best deck I wouldn't play. Trev.
I definitely wouldn't play Zorogarb. I think it's a good deck. It's just not for me.
You don't like Zoroark. Shut up, bro.
I played Zoroark this year.
Yeah, once.
I played Zoroark at a challenge. Yeah. Honestly, like I haven't been a fan of Zoroark since this summer, where it basically rotated in standard because you rotate all as a Sark deck, and I would definitely play Sark guard, but I would not bring. I don't know, like I wouldn't bring Trevenant because I don't like playing those kind of decks. I just want to be, I want to be the guy sitting and taking like the control over the match and being like the aggressive punisher, where Trevenant is just way too slow for my kind.
All right, and what is the last question is, what deck do you think is going to win the event? No fire for Ninja
I think
Break.
I answered that really quickly.
Yeah, Zorogarb, you obviously think. Let's get a non-fire, non-Greninja Break answer.
I think Zorogarb or Trev's.
Zorogarb or Trev?
Jake, go. I don't know. I gotta think.
Honestly, I think Archie's could probably win this event.
Archie's?
So like I think 4 decks could win the event. That's the problem. Like I think Zorogarb could easily win because Zoroark is just consistent. I think Archie's can win because it just literally is a run hot deck, and if you run hot, you win. I think Pikarom could win if you have an optimal list because like the deck is just stupid. And then if you hit the right matchups, I mean it's really hard to miss all the counters, but I think a Nightmare. No, I don't know if it could win. It could do well, I guess, maybe. You got to miss all the counters. Like, so I know because Peter Kika played Buzzcario at what's its face, and he dodged all the Malamar at Collinsville. And Malamar was like probably the biggest deck there. I don't know. I think it's either if we're being realistic, I think Zorogarb, Archie's, or Pikarom. If you draw optimally, I think Zorogarb can win the event, but at the same time, it can get cheesed by Archie's.
All right. So, yeah, thank you guys for answering. And if there's any shout-outs you'd like to give upon the exit, go ahead. Go in the same order as usual.
Shout out to my boy Nick Race. Hopefully he doesn't go 5-0, then 5-2-2 this time.
Shout out to my team sponsor, Team NRG, Nerd Rage Gaming out of Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to the guy below me at Jake Ewart. Shout out to Arlo Neal. We test like every day and we're just homies. Shout out to Rudy. And yeah.
All right.
I'm not going to shout out Alec because I don't like him. He's mean. I'll shout out Arlo, Eli, and Mo. I talk to them every day about stuff. And Mo keeps complaining that no one shouts him out, so I got him on this one.
Imagine shouting out
Russ for getting the busted hoodies.
Right.
Well, shout out to Limitless. Go check our site out at limitlesscgg.com. Ulysses just dropped an article. Follow me on Twitter at Jesper K. Eriksen. Follow me at every social media. You can find him easily. Comment on my post. Don't get mad if you get banned from hell. And thank you for inviting me to the chat, Rudy. I was eating some very nice fried chicken.
All right. Thank you guys.
Oh, wait, real quick. The real play for Greensboro is Primal Groudon. No leaks. All right.
All right.